Hello everyone, David90k here, and in today's video I'm going to show you the best way to get Heart of the Mountain XP at every stage in the game. Alright, so for the first stage of the game, you're going to be at Heart of the Mountain level 1. Now, in order to get to the next stage, you want to make it all the way to Heart of the Mountain tier 3. Now, how do you do this? What you want to do is you're going to head over to the King's Palace over here. I'm going to head up these stairs over to this table. You're going to talk to whoever's at the head of the table with the golden seat, and then he's going to give you a few commissions that you can do, such as participating in events, mining titanium in specific places around the Dwarven Mines, or mining mithril in specific places around the Dwarven Mines, or just generally mining either of those things. You can also have a Slayer quest where you have to just kill a certain amount of a mob, and for me that gives it 400 Heart of the Mountain XP. Now also, another way to get Heart of the Mountain XP here is by competing in some of these events. Now, as you can see up top, it says Better Together. There will be events that are sometimes scheduled, such as Goblin Invasions. There will also be raffles and a few other types of events that when you participate in them, you will gain a certain amount of Heart of the Mountain XP. Completing commissions will unlock multiple different emissaries, which means you won't have to go all the way back to the king. Once you have completed a certain amount of commissions, you will unlock something called the Royal Pigeon, which I have not unlocked yet, but I am working on it. I'm getting close. And then eventually the Travel Scroll to the Crystal Nucleus, which will be very helpful later on. But the Royal Pigeon allows you to access that menu, this menu right here, from anywhere just by right-clicking it on your inventory. After you've completed a certain amount of missions, you will get Heart of the Mountain tier 3. This allows access to the Crystal Hollows. Now, in order to get to the Crystal Hollows, you're gonna need to head over here towards the spawn. You're gonna talk to this person right here, and you can buy a Crystal Hollows pass for 10,000 coins. Once you talk to Gwendolyn over here, and you're gonna take this minecart, or if you're like me, you have the warp there, and you can just warp over to the Crystal Hollows, and you're gonna make your way over to the Nucleus. Once you make your way over to the Crystal Nucleus, you're gonna head over to this sort of gate-looking area. You're going to take a right over to Emissary Cisco. This is where you get your Crystal Nucleus commissions before you get your Royal Pigeon. And they give you 400 Heart of the Mountain XP. Now you also have the gemstone collections where you have to go into a specific area and get a certain amount of gemstones. It's usually 1,000. We also have Crystal Hunters, which is where you have to complete a certain task within the Crystal Hollows in order to get this giant crystal, which you can then place over here to do Nucleus Runs, which I'll explain in a minute. You also have Slayer quests where you have to kill a certain amount of a mob. Let's say Thists in the jungle. You go over here and you just kill a few. Then there's also a Boss Corleone quest where you have to kill Corleone. Found in the Mithril deposits. It's very annoying to find him because sometimes the structure doesn't spawn. Once you unlock the Crystal Hollows, I would recommend doing these ones as long as you can do them quicker. Because a lot of the times what happens is you just need to head over to the jungle. I'll just mine a few amethysts and then my quest will be done. And then see, that was a really quick quest that completed. I didn't even mine that much. I mined this one and that one. Now, I only recommend moving to Crystal Hollows commissions once you can mine gemstones relatively quickly, because otherwise the Dwarven Mines commissions will actually be quicker for you to complete, and you'll gain more Heart of the Mountain XP faster from the Dwarven Mines commissions, and you might end up needing the Mithril Powder in order to upgrade your Peak of the Mountain to where you can unlock another commission slot. Now, once you can mine gemstones pretty quickly, I recommend moving over here and start to doing these ones. Now, if you can't mine gemstones quickly, what I do recommend doing are something called Nucleus Runs. In order to do Nucleus Runs, you need to get all the crystals and then bring them back and place them on each statue. So what you want to do is, at the same time as you're doing the Nucleus Runs, you're going to follow your commissions. So right here I have an Amber Crystal. So I'll do the Amber Crystal first, and then whatever comes after that until I do all of them. The fastest way to get Heart of the Mountain XP at the second stage of the game is to complete Nucleus Runs. Now, as you can see in the middle, there are these giant statues all holding their hands out. These statues are waiting for you to place a crystal at them. So if you click on the barrier blocks by the statues, it'll send a message that says you have not found this crystal yet. Place it here when you have found it. Now, each area has its own separate crystal. And to show you how to complete Nucleus Runs, we're going to get each crystal. But before we do that, I'm going to explain why this is so efficient. Because, one, if you have 4 commission slots, that means there will always be a Crystal Hunter commission. Meaning for every crystal that you complete, you'll get 400 Heart of the Mountain XP, plus the 900 dailies. Or you'll get another 800 Heart of the Mountain XP after you place down all the crystals. How do you do Nucleus Runs? So in each separate area, the Goblin Holdout, the Precursor Remnants, the Mithril Deposits, and the Jungle, and also the Magma Fields, there are separate specific areas that will allow you to gain the crystals and then place them on the statues once you collect them. Now, in order to find these places, you can head into the specific areas and just walk around until you find it, or you can head over to the bazaar. You can buy something called a wishing compass, They're relatively cheap. And if you don't have access to the bazaar, mine around in the crystal hollows and you'll find chests occasionally. And then those chests sometimes will have wishing compasses, which is how you get access to them. Let's say you're in the mythical deposits and you want to get the jade crystal. You're going to right click on your wishing compass and it'll point you in the direction that the main structure is. So you're just going to mine your way over to that structure. So in order to unlock the jade crystal, you'll find this area called the Mines of Devon. And to unlock it, you're going to head over to one of the keepers NPCs. Make sure that all 4 of them are there so that way you can get the crystal. You're going to talk to one. That will give you a metal detector. And you can use this metal detector to head down to the floor area. And if you look in the bottom right of my screen, it'll tell you that there's treasure somewhere around you. So you're going to find a chest like this. Normally it's going to be within the gold and it's going to have this sparkling effect. So make sure you do have your particles on. You're going to click on it and it'll drop something. So this time I got an amber gemstone. Now you're going to keep doing this until you find a specific tool that falls out. So I opened that chest and in the chat it says I found a scavenged emerald hammer. So I have 1 out of the 4 tools required. Now as long as this tool is within your inventory, you will not get another tool of this exact. As long as this tool is in your inventory, you will not get the same tool. So I have the emerald hammer, so I will not be getting an emerald hammer unless if I take it out of my inventory and put it in my inner chest. Now I just need to go ahead and find all 4 other tools. This does tend to take a little bit of time, so just be patient and just open up a ton of chests. And we got the lapis sword. Once you get all the special tools, you're going to head up to NPCs. You're going to talk to each one. All the tools will be placed on the statues and then this jade crystal will spawn in the middle. In order to collect it, you just jump up and click on it and it'll say crystal found. But for the next crystal, we're going to get the sapphire, so you're going to head over to the precursor remnants. Again, wishing compass. And it's going to point me in the direction of the precursor city, which is right over here. And you're going to find this sort of robot looking area and you're going to see an NPC up here and you're going to talk to him. He's going to tell you to bring 6 key components to the giant so that you can repair it. Now these components actually are dropped over by these guys called automatons. So if you kill them, they have a small chance of dropping all 6 of the parts. Now also, if you're in the precursor city and you happen to find any chests here, you can open up those chests and you'll find the parts. So right there, I just dropped a synthetic heart. You can also buy the parts on the bazaar. Once you have all 6 robot parts, you're going to head over to Professor Robot. You're going to talk to him, give him all of your parts, and then this door is going to open and the sapphire crystal will be in the middle and you can collect it. Right now I have the amber crystal commission, so in order to get the amber crystal, you need to find this place called the Goblin Queen's Den. It's this really large structure within the goblin holdout. You see that amber crystal back here behind this guard. You're going to try to walk in and get it, but it says you do not belong here, get out while you still can. Now in order to be able to collect that crystal, you need to find this other structure called the Goblin King. So if you don't have this specific status effect on you, your compass will point you in the direction of the Goblin King. So once you find this structure, the Goblin King's area, you'll find King Yolkar. Now you're going to talk to him. He's going to say he's hungry and he wants something to eat. So as you can see in chat, he's asking you for 3 goblin eggs. You get the goblin eggs by killing goblins or opening up chests within the goblin holdout. Once you get your 3 goblin eggs, you're going to talk to King Yolkar. He'll take the goblin eggs. He'll then give you a special effect that is called the King's Stench, which will allow you to head over to the Goblin Queen's area. Then you can now go past the guards and collect the amber crystal. In order to get the topaz crystal, you're going to head down into the magma fields. Use your wishing compass and it'll point you again in the direction. You're going to find a structure that looks like this. It's called the Khazad Doom. And you're going to see in the middle there's a giant magma cube starting to form. Now this magma boss is called Ball. But if you want to just get the crystal without fighting Ball, you're going to head to the back area and click on the barrier blocks before the boss has gotten completely big. You have to do quite a bit of damage to him. I believe you have to hit him around 200-ish times. And then once you kill him, the crystal will spawn right there. Now for the amethyst crystal, you're going to head over to the jungle and you're going to look for something called the jungle key. There are 2 ways to attain this. Your wishing compass will point you towards the structure in order to get the jungle key if you don't have one in your inventory, which I don't. So I'm going to go ahead and try to use it. Now, if you look in the chat, it says my wishing compass can't seem to locate anything. That means the structure does not spawn here in this specific lobby. So this just lets you know that this is a bugged lobby and you can't complete Nucleus Runs here. Now, in order to get this key, there are 2 different ways. One, you can trade, I believe it's around 100 sludge juice towards an NPC that the compass will point you to, or you can kill something called the Key Guardian, and he'll drop a key every single time. But once you get access to the key, you're going to head over to this area. This is the jungle temple. Now what you need to do is you need to get that key that you got from either the NPC trading or from the key guardian. You're going to head up here, you're going to talk to the key door guardian. Once you complete the parkour, you'll go up these stairs, see the 2 chests and the amethyst crystal. So you need to click on the crystal. And I do recommend opening up the chest since it's just free loot. And you can claim your final commission. And then once you collect all 5 crystals, your commissions will then reset, and then you'll be able to do the other crystal commissions again. And then once you're back in the nucleus, you need to head over to each of these statues and then click on the barrier blocks towards their hands. It'll place down the crystals. And then loot will appear in the middle, and you'll see the 800 hard amount of experience, which you can collect. You'll also gain some extra loot, and then once that's done, you can just keep doing that over and over and over again. But yeah, that's the fastest way to get Heart of the Mountain XP at stage 2 in the game. But you can do this all the way up until you get to Heart of the Mountain 7, because this is the fastest way, but it was also pretty expensive. And if you don't want to pay the money, you can just do Crystal Hollows commissions, because those are pretty easy. Something cool that you can do is once you're inside of the Glaciite tunnels, you can head over to Dr. Stone if you have any extra Helix fossils left over from Crystal Nucleus runs that you would do in the previous one. I recommend keeping at least one. You can talk to Dr. Stone. You can donate it, and you'll instantly get 5,000 Heart of the Mountain XP. And you can find the fossils with any fossil excavator, and in order to get to the fossils, you need to find suspicious scrap by mining around here, and if you want, you can get a free one from Soarhin just by talking to him. Alright, so I just got my commission milestone to tier 5. So now, once you get the 500 quests, you can claim the Royal Pigeon. And what I do recommend before you claim this, get out any mining tool that has compact on it, that way you can get extra mining wisdom, make sure you have a cookie buff, and make sure you have a god potion active. And then something else to make sure you do have a pet that is specifically mining, that way you can get the most out of it. So if I claim this Royal Pigeon, this now allows me to access commissions from anywhere without having to talk to people. So once you get this Royal Pigeon, the best strategy for grinding for Heart of the Mountain XP actually changes. In order to do the best method, you're going to warp over to mines. You're going to find any station master. You're going to talk to him and head over to the Glaciite tunnels. This method is also locked behind Heart of the Mountain 7 and Royal Pigeon. The main reason I'm saying Royal Pigeon is because in order to claim your commission rewards, you need to head out of the Glaciite mines and then find an emissary. That is just very inefficient, so it's just much better to have a Royal Pigeon on you. So the reason why this place is actually the most efficient instead of doing Nucleus runs now is because each commission is 7,500 Heart Mountain XP, and they're also quicker to complete than some Nucleus challenges if you don't have them set up. Of course, the Nucleus will be faster if you pre-prepare, but if you aren't pre-prepared, and you just want to head into commissions to get Heart of the Mountain XP, head over to Glaciite Mines. It's way more efficient. Also, when you're in the Glaciite Mines, you can find things called suspicious scraps, and then you can trade that in for further Heart of the Mountain XP. And then once you complete your quest, Royal Pigeon, use your Royal Pigeon, and then you click the commission and you just get another one. And it's really simple, and it's honestly a lot quicker. The only thing is, if you have a very slow mining speed like I do right now, some quests like mining Glaciite will take quite a bit of time to complete, and also there is a little bit of lag dependency, so that will take maybe just a little bit longer than doing two nucleus commissions, which 2 nucleus commissions in that case would get me 800, so it might be worthwhile to continue doing nucleus commissions instead of Glaciite Tunnels commission, because my mining speed is pretty low right now. Once you get up to Heart of the Mountain 7 and you have decent gear, it is definitely worth your time to do Glaciite Tunnel. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, remember to like and subscribe.